I'm here with Alice.
Hi guys!
And we are going on a walk. And we're going to call this lovely segment Walks with Alice and Bleachers, which is her dog, which... Don't follow me. Don't follow me. That's Bleachers. Is she cute? Okay, so on this lovely walk, Alice and I are going to have a talk, and you guys get to hear it. So Alice is going to share some stuff with us. Yay, Alice! So what's been on your heart lately, Alice?
Okay, so I was talking to Stina about faith and trust. So also I don't like to be videoed, so if I'm awkward in this, I'm sorry. But I guess like what I've been going through in my life this last year has been really just learning to trust God and have faith no matter what, through anything. There's a verse in Hebrews, it's 11:1, and it kind of defines faith for us as Christians, I think. It basically says, you know, we believe in the things that are unseen. And it also says like there's things in this world that like God's made and we don't even know like that he's done it because they're just not always visible. And so I think that's a huge like factor in our relationship with God, because without faith it's like we actually aren't believing. Like that's part of us believing in God, so we have to have that faith, which also brings me to trust, because like you're having to trust somebody that you can't even see. So that's really important also. And we already have issues, I think, as people trusting others. Maybe it's we don't trust our parents, or we don't trust our friends, or if we're in relationships, we don't trust that person, whether it's a boyfriend or a girlfriend, whichever one. So I think when it comes to that like aspect of our lives, we have to have God, faith in God first, and then we have to have trust in him, because our relationship with him is the most important one in this whole world. Like, and if we can't like have that relationship and the foundation, the faith built in that, then the other relationships in our lives are going to struggle. We're going to have problems with those. We're not going to have good boundaries set, which is something I've always been learning about this last year, obviously a lot. And so I just know this last month, God really put me through like a lot of like I would say it's a trial and a battle. Like part of it's my own flesh putting it through a battle. But I learned even more that I have to trust in him, because my relationship in him is more important. And if I love him, and if I have faith in him, and if my relationship with him is number one, then I'm gonna have to trust that whatever he has for me is better than all those other things. So especially like if it comes to relationships, or if it comes to friendships, or any sort of like activity I want to do. And so I know that's like hard to do, I think, in our lives, like putting trust in him, because we can't really see like what he's asking us in the future. Maybe we can't even see what he's promised us, and we're like, well, you know, how are we supposed to believe that you have our best like interest in mind? Sorry, which is pulling me, come here. And so I think that's something too, is that's where faith comes in. Like if we really believe, like we're just gonna trust him no matter what, even when it's hard to, even when it's like this kind of sucks and this looks messy and all this other stuff, but we're gonna say we trust him because we love him. So yeah, I think that's probably my biggest part. I don't know how you feel about all of that.
I would say I agree.
Okay.
It's hard to trust other people when you don't even have like the foundation of trusting in the person who created you.
Yeah, because it's the most important thing.
It's like, so, he made you and you don't even trust him, so
yeah,
why would you trust any of his creations?
Yeah, like the other people around. Yeah. And I don't know, like, and that's like something definitely with relationships I found that's very true, like having that trust and that like guidance from him, and then, you know, faith. But then I think like, well, so if I want to speak more on practical like times right now, current, I mean, like it even comes down to like just our trust in knowing he has everything covered.
Yeah.
Like, and that faith, like if you look back on, which is part of again in Hebrews, I'm really loving Hebrews 11, because in one it basically defines faith for you, of like what that means, but then it goes on from there and it like shows you these like examples of faith from like Moses and from Abraham and from Isaac, you know, and even like Jericho and Joshua, and like they had faith in these times that were like really, really hard. Like, because we think, well, like they don't know, or God doesn't know, like he didn't understand, but like he does. Like he watched them, he like put them through, he tested their faith too, to like make sure that they really did have a relationship and really believed in him. And so I think that's something too to look at, is like God tests our faith, like times tests our faith, like sometimes we test our faith, you know, and that's like
from
something
the silly choices we make.
Yes, like from those things that like, you know, and we're over here testing our own faith and we don't even know it. But that's important too to notice, I think. And then I think even this world tests our faith every day. like things we're going through. And like right now especially, obviously, because we're going through like chaotic times, and there's like viruses going around, and there's all this other stuff. And so that trust and that faith is being tested daily with like maybe different fears, maybe different things we're battling with, not being able to see people. And so I think it comes down to like just, that's the foundation we have to have. And it's that faith, that trust in God, that no matter what, whatever part of life we're in, whatever part the world is in, that we just love Him and we trust Him. So I don't know, that came to me like earlier. I was just having this word trust, and it just like, I had this peace just like all the way through, because I was like, God, I trust you. I trust you with the things you've taken out of my life, with the things you're putting in my life. I trust you with where my life's going. So I think that's hard, and I didn't come overnight. Like I definitely went through a ton of like things where I didn't trust Him. Things where like I went the opposite way, and like I didn't have that faith, and I didn't have that foundation, and I wanted things my way, and I wanted to trust myself, and I wanted to trust other people, and I put my trust in the wrong things. Which I think it's funny because we talked about strongholds in Tuesday night group. And I kind of imagine
that's
it like
a small
that.
group we go to.
Yeah.
So just like how we do Exodus, which is kind of how we do like our little small groups with you guys,
But for
and we
us
have
adults.
time where we talk about Bible stuff. Like that doesn't have to stop when you get older. We do that now. We meet with people who have walked different walks than we have, and we talk about how the Bible has spoken to us differently, but also kind of in the same way.
Yeah,
you
because
know?
it's important. That's part of making sure we stay strong.
So it's like God shows us kind of like the same things in His Word, but through different parts of our life, so it's also different at the same time.
Yeah.
So just know, we also go to
we need
things
that.
where we learn more about the Bible. So
we need that for sure.
Yeah. Because the thing is that's the cool thing about the Bible. It's something that you can always continually be learning from.
Yeah.
And when you talk about the Bible with other people and who have walked a different life than you have, you learn even more new things. Just Alice and I learn from each other all the time.
Every day I feel like I see so much.
When we meet up and we talk about what His Word says and everything. So, yeah. So how would you say you've been able to trust and show faith in God through this time? Like what has been some tangible things that you've done?
I would say probably like, man, that gets deep. I was going to ask you like, how deep can we go on this?
We can go as deep as we want.
I mean, like, I'm going to try to share with like not being super like personal and things too, but at the same time, so one of the things I've always struggled with would probably be relationships, like boyfriend, girlfriends. And so like this last year, God had basically just asked me to like not date. And that was great. I loved it. Our relationship grew. My trust in Him grew. And then this last couple of months, like He really just put me through a time, like He didn't put me through it. I would say my own flesh and my own desires as like a human being, you know, kind of was like still wanting to take over. And I was like struggling in that. And I was like, God, like, I know I love you and I know I want you to be the only one in my life. I was like, but like, I really like this other person a lot. And that was something that I hadn't dealt with in a while. And so I didn't even know what it really looked like. But I knew, like I said, I loved God and I had this faith in Him. And I was kind of struggling with letting go of that because I knew He was asking me to, but I didn't really want to fully. And so there just came this moment where I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to trust in you because this is way harder doing it my way than doing it your way. And your way is much easier. And so if I just do it your way, the correct way, the best way, and just trust you and let you carry me through these next like parts of my lives, it's gonna be easier. I'm gonna have more peace. I'm gonna feel better. The relationships I'm in are gonna be better. The boundaries I create are gonna be better, and all of those things. And so learning to trust Him in that was really hard because I didn't want to give that part of my life over back to Him again. So I would say that's been a tangible way. I mean, there's a lot more in that. That was kind of the basics of it, and just learning to trust Him. But then also trusting Him, like, in my job even, because I've always had this job security issue, feeling like I have to, like, have multiple jobs. And so beginning this year, I started getting really busy again. I say yes to, like, everything, which is not good. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Yeah, you want to trust God that He has you and that you don't have to say yes to 100 things. So, and I had talked to this again with one of our Tuesday night group people, like, I think it's good to have mentors that like can help you through things.
Like us.
Yes, that's why we're here. And even when you get older, you want older and more mature mentors who have been through things that you haven't yet, so they can tell you what God shows them. And so I was talking to her, and she was like, okay, well, you need to make a list of the things that, like, you know, maybe you shouldn't do, or like, you know, things that like job-wise or activity-wise, because like I said, say yes to a lot of things. And so I went through that. But even in that moment, again, I didn't want to give things up, and I wasn't like trusting God. I was like, oh, but God, you know, I think I needed to, like, to take these things on. And so I still was saying yes to a lot. And finally, like, I was able to start saying no to some things when it came to just even like hanging out with different people, or just my time management, just trusting Him and knowing that, like, financially He has me, relationship-wise He has me, like, activity-wise, it doesn't matter, like, I just need to trust Him in my life like that. And so there's just things like that. This beginning of this year really hit home for me. So yeah, and I'm always working on it. It's never over. But I think that's part of what's exciting with God, is that you're always finding new ways to trust Him, new ways to, like, surrender things, to grow closer to Him. And that's kind of what's exciting about our, like, relationship, is it's like always something new. It doesn't get boring. It's never dull. So,
Very true.
but at the end, there is peace, which is also amazing, because in most other things, you're not going to actually find peace. Like, if you search for those things in this world, if you trust in the world, find strongholds in the world, that's what I was trying to talk about earlier from Tuesday night group. That was the word. I feel like when we put trust in things of this world, it's like putting our strongholds in them. So, anyways, and
So you guys should look up the definition of a stronghold.
yes, look up strongholds and look up Hebrews 11:1.
Yeah.
Read that for sure, because it's awesome.
So look at that sun behind us.
I know. Crazy.
Block it with my big head.
We look like they have halos.
We do. So that was Alice sharing on our walk with Alice and Bleachers. We're gonna try and do a couple of more of these for you guys. Because she talked from Hebrews, I'm gonna put the Bible Project video on Hebrews on a link on our Facebook, and I'll even try and link it onto the Instagram, and then it'll also be in the playlist for our YouTube channel, so you guys can check it out there. And yeah, trying to not blind you guys with the sun, but we love you guys.
Love you.
Remember, you can get a hold of us on Facebook and Instagram, and we have the videos on YouTube that you can check out. And the Goose Chase app.
Yeah.
If you haven't done that yet, challenges are still on there. I know, she hasn't. Gabby has. Izzy has.
Yeah.
I have.
Failing at these things.
You know.
Right now.
So get on, check it out, do a challenge or two.
Should get Trevor to do it with me.
Yeah. We're gonna get some other videos for you guys of the leaders, because we miss you.
Yeah.
We miss you guys. Try and do it this way. There we go. We miss you guys. Which, yeah, we're closer.
Yeah.
But we also live really close.
Yeah.
And I mean, she's been to my house multiple times since this thing has been happening.
We're basically like family.
Yeah.
Right down.
We are. She lives 4 blocks away from me. Oh, also, I know Gabby has said that she would help with homework things if you guys have questions. I'm sure Alice.
Yes.
But also, I will too. I love math.
Yeah.
Math's my jam. Love the numbers. I also love English. I love the words. I love the words. And because I grew up dyslexic, I know how to spell words. Because I had to. So, yeah. But we love you guys. And we'll do some more videos. Goodbye.
Bye.